been our goal ever since we moved the chickens to the front yard to have them work to protect our fruit trees from beetles, Japanese beetles, and other bugs. Today is the day that they get moved to do their job. Finally time to go to work. Let's get these chickens out. I don't know, you guys have been waiting extra long. That is definitely the most tedious move on the farm, is the egg laying chickens. I think we had about 600-foot sections of fence, and they're heavy. And then we got to move the whole chicken coop as well, but definitely worth it. They are on a new spot, tons of new bugs, and they are ready to explore. So what we did here is we put their shade cloth, food, and water up where I want them the most. So hopefully we'll have a lot of traffic here. I've seen a few cicadas flying around. I don't know if you can see that right there. There's a cicada. They'll lay their eggs in some of the trees in the bark, and it kills them. We have a friend that has an orchard, and he's lost a lot of trees because of that. We have not noticed a lot on our trees. Doesn't mean they're not there, but I just haven't noticed them. And you can see this is our nectarine tree. It is loaded down with nectarines, and we are hoping that they're going to be able to protect our fruit. So we shall see. It's my best plan I have so far. And look at this. This is our chicken that we've put a band on, who always escapes and goes and lays an egg over in the woods. You can see she's trying, but we've got something for her. I've got a new charger from Premier One we are going to put on this fence. Now usually that just keeps the chickens or predators out from the chickens, but I've said before, if they touch it on their combs, they're going to feel that pop and learn to stay in. She's running around like she's got to go to the bathroom, but I think she just has to lay an egg. But anyway, she can figure that out. Look at those birds down there already going through this pasture and finding all the new bugs. We've got some up here that have found their food and water. This spot does not have as much shade as the spot they were in, so we do have the shade cloth again, and we may add another one. I'm just going to keep my eye on them. One thing I do not like, oh, did you all see that? That bird jumped up and took a nectarine out of the tree. And I'm okay with that. A lot of them are falling already, so I'm okay with, they're not going to get them all. And if they're in here knocking out bugs and everything else, it is definitely worth losing a few nectarines to the chickens. So the other day I did see one jump up and take a cicada right off the fence and eat it. Of course I didn't have a camera, but it was pretty sweet, and that is why we have them in here. So we're gonna get that charge hooked up, and we've got a lot of other chickens to get moving. We're gonna take the sides off one of our meat bird tractors. It is getting hot and they need some more airflow, which is a good thing, because when it's hot like this, it's also time to get the little ones out. So we've got to tarp up another chicken tractor, and we'll have 3 chicken tractors full of chickens up and down our pastures. All right, this is the IntelliShock 100. It is a new charger that we got from Premier One. We don't have any codes or anything. They don't sponsor us, but we've been using Premier One netting ever since we've started. And that's supposed to power 5 to 7 164-foot rolls. And we've only got about 4 or 5 100-foot rolls. And the reason I've got this on here is because I really want the chickens, this chicken is trying to get out like crazy, to stay in, because Jamie's garden is right on the other side of the fence, and it is doing awesome. And the last thing I want is to come out and see 60 chickens in there tearing up her hard work. So that is the other reason that we actually have a charge on this fence right now. So you can see the garden is doing quite well, and we want it to stay that way. We want the chickens to protect our fruit. They can have a few bites of the ones that fall or whatever they pick out of the ground, but we want them to stay away from our vegetables. You can see those chickens over there trying to get out. Let's walk over and see if they've got any eggs over there from yesterday. This was their little nest right in there, and there's no eggs. So they've either found a new spot or they laid before they left. But you can see they're creatures of habit. She's wanting to get out. But hopefully they're gonna stay in now, stay out of the garden, protect these fruit trees. Fingers crossed we are gonna get a nice fruit harvest this year. So let's get on to the other chickens now. Cornish cross are 7 weeks old, and it is getting warm enough now where we can roll these up. And we used to take them all the way off, but if we ever get storms or it gets cold at night, you just never know, we leave them on. So we're gonna roll them up, and then we'll put a screw and screw them to the 1x that is the 2 feet off the ground. So they're gonna get some air that is coming through here. So birds are looking great. It is processing week. They're only 7 weeks. We've had some amazing growth rates this year. Very pleased with the Cornish cross. And so we were out for a couple days, or else I would have already started processing these birds. But we're gonna get them some better airflow in here. So let's move these tarps up and give them some more comfort. All right, that is perfect. When I lifted that up, boy, I could feel the breeze blowing through there, and that is definitely gonna keep these chickens comfortable in this heat. And I know, guys, it's only 80s, it's only in the 80s, but right now that's hot for us. It's hot for these birds. And we normally, like I said, we take these off, but with them being down farther like this as well on the sides, they're also getting some shade, but they're still getting that breeze that comes through here. So these birds will be processed within a couple days. That'll be our 3rd batch of Cornish done for the year. So we've got to go up here. Our young birds, those are already fed. We're gonna take the back off of that chicken tractor, leave 2 sides on it, but we're gonna have breeze going through the front and the back. Let's go get them a little breeze. Okay, that is much better. I'm gonna leave the sides down on this one, and they may come up later this week, but these birds are only 4 weeks old, and at night I still see them huddling just a little bit. So I want to make sure that they are still warm enough. They're probably fine, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, right? So anyway, you see we've got 100 birds in here, and that is why we stay at about 100 birds, because this size, when they're younger, it's totally fine, plenty of room. But you see that last group we had, once they start getting up to butcher size, it gets a little tight, and I would not want to put 150 in there. It would just seem a little too cramped. So that is why we stay at 100. So we've got 100 more in the brooder that we need to get out. Let's get these guys locked up, and we are going to put them over in that chicken tractor that doesn't have a tarp yet. So we need to get the tarp on that. We are going to use this tarp that we just took off the back for one of the sides, and I've got some more tarps to put on the other side. And these chickens will only be 3 weeks old, so we definitely want them to be warm enough, and definitely, especially at night. During the day, they'd be totally fine. In the 80s, it is warm, which is good because they like, but at night, as it cools down a little bit, we just want to make sure at this age that they're able to stay warm enough. So let's get them out of the brooder. Actually, we need to get the tarps first. Let's get that chicken tractor ready for chickens, and then we'll get those chicks out of the brooder. All right, that is every chicken that we have on the property is out on pasture. So right around 400 chickens. Brooders are empty. We're gonna let them just eat their feeders. What we had in the brooder, we'll fill these troughs up tomorrow like usual. They had this trough in the brooder as well. and it is nice to have them out as always. So we've got these youngest ones. They are 3 weeks old, and then the next oldest 4 weeks old, and then we've got the 7-week-old that are getting ready to be processed. We've also got the young egg layers, and then the stars of today's video, the older brown sex link layers. They've got a big job to do, and we are counting on them. You can see how a lot of them are sitting underneath the chickshaws right now. That's why I'll probably bring another shade cloth out here. There's a few up here pecking around the trees, but the biggest thing is we are trying to get fruit that is not sprayed with anything. And right now, you guys can see it's looking amazing. It's got a ways to go, but we're excited to see what we'll get off these. So anyway, like I said, almost 400 birds out on pasture. They are loving the new salad bar that they have been given. A lot of bugs, a lot of things they've already picked out of here. Like I said, we seen them jump up and take a fruit off the tree, and there's a lot of them that have fallen down, so they won't go to waste. Chickens will peck them and eat them, and we are good with that. So we've got one more group coming tomorrow. That's going to give us 500 birds on the farm. We are in full swing. The weather is beautiful. The farm is starting to look great. The animals are doing good, and we appreciate you guys following along. Don't forget to make the change, and we'll see you on the next video.